Alright, we're going to talk about the background of maps. There's just a little brief introduction to maps. See, a long time ago, maybe hundreds, or well, actually, definitely more than hundreds, maybe thousands of years, the Arabs from the Middle East area, those are the people who discovered and actually drew maps in details. And through the years, the maps went to Spain when the Muslim people was actually controlling Spain, and they had the Empire of Knowledge. This was the center of knowledge. This is where people came. All the Europeans came to Spain and took the knowledge of map making, the maps that they have already created, the science, the technology, medicine, healing, mathematics, all come from Spain, which was the central knowledge location. So we're not actually going to talk about that. We're going to talk about the maps. So the maps of the world, of all the continents and all that navigation, was actually created by the Arabs. Then the Spaniards took it, the French, the British, basically the European countries. They took the maps, and then they actually, of course, they said they actually invented it. You know, that's the stuff you're going to see in the history books, but not the real history. So the thing is, they took it. So when the people travel across the world, you know, as they said, Christopher Columbus discovered America. Well, he was using a map from the Arabs. He didn't discover nothing because the place was already mapped from before. So these were the things of just the maps. And then people started using these maps, and then they went in details. As the explorers went to North America, the French and the British, they actually came and they did some more detailed mapping of, for example, Canada. Canada was done by these French explorers, and they actually took the old maps and detailed it as they traveled across the countries into the territories, and then eventually became provinces and so on. And same as the America, which is basically U.S., was done in that more detailed mapping. Then South America and other countries in Europe. So as people progressed, the maps became more details. So we're looking at the old technology of maps, and then we had surveyors that went and surveyed land, and they got more precise as time becomes more details. And then if you remember the old days, we had a map. You know, you open the big, if you're looking for driving instructions, you have these big maps, you open and fold them, and you look at where, you know, the areas that you're going to. So it wasn't detailed, but it was enough to get you where you're going. Then it became more detail and more detail and more detail, except for new areas, because some of the maps have to be updated once a year or once a 2 year. Atlas made some of these books of maps, and the small folding maps we used in the old days in the 70s to find different places we're going at from driving. So the thing is, this was stuff, and then in school they used the Atlas, which was a company that had the books to teach people the maps of the continents and the details of it. So this is just how things progress. Now with technology, with the internet, and with Google had vehicles that drive around. You're going to see them driving in your city with a little thing spinning on the outside. So they actually map the thing even more details. So the course that we're going to do is on Google Maps, which is going to show you details of different places. So we can see somebody's house. We can see what the street is. We can see all these details. It's so much detail now with the satellite and the Google system of mapping. A lot of companies use Google because of the detail precise of the mapping. So we're talking about the old days when they had these canvas materials or cloth materials that they actually did maps. As I remember from that, then it progressed into better paper, better, more detail. So it started from the primitive stage to the medium to the advanced stage. So detailed now that even if new areas are being, new housing schemes are being developed, the maps are very detailed. They're there. So people have these things now on the cell phones, GPSs, but GPSs gets outdated. You know, excuse me, unless you update your GPS, basically it gets outdated. You know, I mean, the area is being constructed, but on the internet, on through the phones, they're going to the live maps, and that's details. You could find all the new areas because once they're being created, they're being updated in the system. That's with technology. So again, folks, this is a little history of maps. We start from the primitive. Even if you remember the old days with the pirates, they always drew maps. So maps have been around for a long time. So enjoy this course, and this is just a brief background of map.